Hi guys, I'm finally back home and Bitcoin is trying to go into higher levels here right now. But there is one massive problem where I believe Bitcoin could see one more small move to the downside before we are finally going way higher than we are right now. If you want to know what I have found, then stick around here and let's go, guys. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on this Sunday today. We jump directly into the charts. I don't want to waste too much time. Just one thing, I will come now again every single day, guys. I know it was rough the last couple of weeks because I was sick, but anyway, every single day again. So let's get into the charts here. So the DXY Friday was moving here back to 104 points. I had warned about this, that this could happen, but leading into next week, I believe that we are coming back down here, break it and below 103 points and will move into lower level. On the CME chart, we're currently forming a CME gap, even though it's a really small one. It's like $400 gap. If the price stays as it is as of now, that would basically mean that most likely by tomorrow, after tomorrow, price would come back down here to fill that CME gap and then continue to go to the upside, which would not be the end of the world. And I'm going to show you that here in a moment. And I want to remind you guys here, if you don't want to trade with leverage and you want to make sure that you actually make money in this market, on spot, then go to PIONEX. I have a strategy already for you prepared. You only need to go and click in the description and the pin comment below on the strategy, and you get up to $1,000 here for just signing up, so on PIONEX. You can use it anywhere in the world, just not in the US. There's a special US website actually for PIONEX, but anywhere else in the world you can use it. It's amazing. You see here they're pretty clear about what you get when you're signing up there. And I have, of course, the bot running here, and that is the strategy that I'm running. So currently I'm up here $170 on that bot, but I have also only invested $4,000, so out of 10,000 that I have allocated. I will add more shortly to that bot. As we progressively go higher, the more money I'm gonna add more and more here into that bot actually. So if you wanna follow that strategy, there is a link in the description and the pick on below. You just need to click on the strategy once you have signed up there, and you can blindly copy it, guys. Absolutely blindly copy it. And as you can see here, we were making, since inception, since like 2 weeks ago, we are making here everyday money, guys, every day. We never really go here in a loss. So trust me, guys, this is the safest way if you don't want to use leverage to trade anywhere. Now, when we're starting to talk about Bitcoin, what we can see on the daily chart is, first of all, the deviation zone here that we have in previous cycles or at the end of bear trends is running here also slowly to an end. We have marked definitely down here the bottom with $77,000 approximately, and now that we have here more or less a V-shaped recovery, is telling me that we are getting really close to a break here to the upside with a big reversal. The only problem is that the stochastic has not much more room to go here to the upside. Hence, we have here a day or two where Bitcoin can still move higher, most likely testing here this downward sloping trend line on the daily chart, potentially even wick, with a wick going above it, but then coming back, consolidate downwards, and then continue to go higher. So also we are still fighting with the 200 moving average here on the daily chart, which is also not a good sign. The only good sign that we have currently here is that we still have that bullish divergence, and that has, in my opinion, still not played out. So the bullish divergence is still here in progress, has not completely played out yet. We need for that a crazy move here to the upside, something like to $93,000, and that hasn't happened yet. So I believe it is going to happen once we are breaking here above the downward sloping trend line. But I want to warn you guys, this can coincide with just a wick going above here and come straight back down, and that is the big rejection that that I'm basically talking about here, that could cause a problem in the short term. Regardless of that, I believe that by end of the next week, we are definitely above $90,000, above the 200 moving average. But I think the first attempt in the next 48 hours will be a fake out that we are going to see here, just because the stochastic is already way too high here. And there is not much room to go higher, so we can stay here for like a day or two up here, but then we will come down. So that also would mean, even if we go here above, the $90,000 level most likely will act as resistance. We get rejected from there, come back down here. In the best case scenario, we stay above the downward sloping trend line, but we're going to retest that and then go back to the upside. When we're going into the 12-hourly chart, also here, you can clearly see that we are right now eating into the EMA ribbon, which is a good sign, but we need to get up here to like $85,250 approximately and close the 12-hourly candle above that level for continuation into higher prices. So here on the stochastic, we're looking good. The RSI is looking good. The MACD is looking good. So here we could see a little bit more continuation over the next 24 hours, in my opinion. But also here, that will most likely stop when we run into $88,000 here on the VPVR. That is also the reason right now why we are not going much higher, because we are just about to get out of that resistance zone here on the VPVR, and it's still acting as resistance. So unless we're getting here a clear break and a nice pump above the EMA ribbon, this level will most likely also act as a rejection level. So we have to be a little bit careful there. Regardless of that, I still have my trades running here on ZoomX, guys. My Ethereum trade is still up $7,000. My Bitcoin trade is still $2,500. So these trades are still doing well. I'm gonna let them run. I'm not changing anything because I have a really good entry here at $81,500. I don't believe that Bitcoin will in the short term come back to this level. The same here for Ethereum to $1,900, not seeing that happening in the short term. So I definitely let these trades run. Again, guys, these trades were given here absolutely for free on the channel. The only thing that you had to do is use the link in the pin comment in the description below to sign up on ZoomX. You also still get sign up bonuses there. Plus, it is non-KYC, so even in the US you can use it. One of the few exchanges that will actually let you trade as a US citizen with leverage. So go and check it out before anything changes and make as much money as you can, especially with the trades that I give you absolutely for free, guys. When we're going into the 4-hourly chart for Bitcoin, also here we see that the ascending triangle that I was talking about is coming here to an end. So we need to get a breakout here pretty soon. I want to remind you the breakout target of that ascending triangle would be $91,650. So pretty close to the $90,000 level that I was mentioning earlier. So I would be not surprised to see a breakout. Like I said, a wick, a fake out up here, coming back down, maybe here to $86,000, $85,000, you know, consolidate, then up again. So we have not a lot of time here to get the breakout. We have more or less, what is this? 11 hours. So that means in the current 12-hourly candle, we need to get that pump here to the upside. So tomorrow at 7 a.m. my time, that is when, the latest, by the latest, we should have gotten the breakout here into higher prices. If that is not happening, then most likely what we're going to get is a fake out rolling over, going lower. Most likely down here into the in the current weekly open. Tomorrow we're gonna have a new weekly open, but most likely into this weekly open here to like $82,600 again, and from there we are coming back up and continue to go higher. So, but we need definitely to get a breakout here, because that was a fake out. I had warned about this, that this is potentially a fake out, and now we are running out of time here in that pattern to get a proper breakout. So on the gradients, MDXI scalp gradients, here we are also looking not too shabby. We are getting here right now a purple candle, like a purple reddish candle, which is usually a sign for a continuation move to the upside while we are running hot, and the same on the reactor indicator. Also here we are running hotter right now. Here you see we had two topping indications, and that was basically confirming what I said, that fake out here and where we came back down. But now I think that is a proper run here. But we need definitely more volume and a proper break here into higher levels. On the falling wedge pattern that we had here on the 4-hourly chart, we got here a proper break, but also here the neckline up here at around $84,780 is not broken yet. So, and also here we're running out of steam on the stochastic RSI. Also the RSI is starting to flatlining here, going sideways because we're running into this resistance. So if we're not getting here pretty soon a convincing move above that line, be prepared to get a rejection from there. And one more time, go back to like the $83,000, $82,500 level, where you of course can buy more, because I don't believe that afterwards we were going to see these prices for quite some time again. Also here on the liquidation levels, we have here some high leverage liquidity that has built up on the long side, all the way down here from $83,700 to $82,300. So it would make sense to come here and clean this, then go up, complete the golden cross here on a good trajectory to get us here by the end of the month. So within a week, potentially the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of April, something like this. But we are on a good trajectory here to get this golden cross. Remember, once we're getting the golden cross, prices will be close to $90,000 or above $90,000. With a high certainty, in my opinion. I don't believe that we will go all the way down here to $80,000, $81,000 to take all the liquidity down here. Just a quick move, like 82,400, then up. The other scenario is that we just keep pumping here and leave this behind. We have seen stuff like this also before, and just going higher and higher from here. On the liquidation levels, you see also here why there's some confluence that we could come down here to like $83,000, $82,000, because here is some liquidity concentrated just below current price, but the current price is eating here in direction of $85,800 and $86,000. Once we are getting here to like $85,800, expect a short squeeze all the way up to $87,600. But first we have to get here into these higher levels. If we get rejected from these key levels that I just mentioned, then definitely expect that we come first down here to get some fuel to push here into higher prices. Also on Bybit, guys, if you want to trade altcoins, go to Bybit. That is the best platform for trading altcoins, in my opinion. You get also still up to $30,000 if you sign up with my link in the description below, in the pinned comment below. Don't forget, they have also a debit card if you're eligible in your country to get one. Amazing. I was just in Singapore yesterday and today actually. Used it everywhere. Paid for my room, paid for everything. Got an upgrade for free on my room, which was insane. Like that was worth a $500-600 extra that I got for free from the hotel. So, and these are some perks that you get sometimes with the Bybit card, So I'm telling you guys, sign up on Bybit if you can and get all these perks, plus that you of course potentially also get here invited to exclusive events as mentioned. So use the link in the pinned comment below and in the description for that. Now, when we're going into the Bitcoin dominance fell out here out of the falling wedge, but what we need now is a continuation move to the downside here in that range to the downside to confirm that this is now the proper break that we were waiting for. So right now we don't know that yet. We need to wait like until tomorrow or after tomorrow. But once we are breaking here below 61.3% and have at least 2 free daily candles below that level, consider the falling wedge pattern completed, and we are starting to go to the downside, and altcoin season is then really, really, really soon around the corner. When we're looking at the total free market cap, the same with Bitcoin. Once that downward sloping trend line is broken here, then everything will immediately pump to the upside. Here again, the closest level to watch is right now $836 billion. We are really close. We are like $25 billion away from that we can technically get a move like that in a single day without any problem. But we need to get there, So right now, I also think that that kind of move will happen between Tuesday and Thursday in that kind of time window, if we are going to get it, but not before that, just because Bitcoin is looking like that we are getting a rejection first before we are actually going higher. So here with Ethereum, we are around my entry level that I had given a couple of days ago, but I want to warn you here on the 4-hourly chart again, it looks like that we're coming down first a little bit before we go higher. So I would not enter here right now. I would wait and see how the next 2-3, then depending on where the price is, look if I would enter. So, but you definitely want first that the stochastic comes down a little bit, at least to like 50% before it turns around again. And then you just wait for the entry level here at $2,000 to enter that specific trade. If you entered actually here, it's not the end of the world. I don't believe that we are coming down here to like $1,900 to kick you out of that trade again. So your stop loss should be fine. If you're in that trade, just sit it out, guys. Sit it out. Another reason why we are not going higher right now is also here the VPVR. Here the longest bar close to the price action. Once we get here above $2,020, expect that we are moving really quickly here to $2,100, $2,200. But right now, that is a big resistance that we are fighting with. Also, Solana got a nice pump here and is front running right now the market because we broke already this downward sloping trend line. But also here it looks like that we're going to get a retest into the green order block here, where we have massive buy orders stacked up, and that would bring us back to like $128 to $130.60 approximately, because also here stochastic about to print a sell signal, RSI rolling over, MACD running out of steam. So a lot of signs that we have to be here a little bit careful. Again, same thing like with Ethereum. If you're in the trade, I don't believe that your stop loss will get hit. If we're coming down into like $128, I would just add more money there to make the trade bigger and average down my entry price a little bit. And that's basically it, you know, so I would not change anything otherwise on that setup. If you're not in a trade yet, then just wait for $130. That is basically just roughly 2% right now to the downside. And then we are off to the races, in my opinion. So when we're looking at the daily chart, for example, also here, you see stochastic pretty high, RSI still fine, also bullish divergence, but a stochastic RSI is suggesting that we are at least going sideways in the best case, and in the worst case coming down first a little bit before we are then seeing by the end of next week a proper move into higher levels, mostly across the market. Guys, that's it already for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you with more money tomorrow.